One of my coworkers, who doesn't know any better by the way, just told me that I look tired, and I said, I'm not tired. I've just been crying for the last 3 days because my seasonal depression is on full blast.
Hey, pretty girls and evolving women. Welcome back to Pretty Girl Rich Era, evolving into womanhood. If you've been feeling low, unmotivated, or just tired and off during the colder months, this video is for you. Today, we're talking about winter blues, seasonal depressions, and the signs you might be experiencing it. How you can cope with it, because I've been through this before and I had it very bad. I think it was 2023. Yeah, I had it very bad. I did not know what was going on with me. Also, how to stop yourself from getting too deep into it. And I'm also going to share what personally helped me get out of it. And just a heads up, this is a safe, honest conversation. It is not meant to make you feel bad or to make you feel sad about anything. Hopefully, you will actually get some motivation from this video. Before we get into it, I do want to say this. This video is not for anyone who has been diagnosed with clinical depression or seasonal affective disorder. I am not a medical professional, and this is not medical advice. If you feel like your symptoms are severe, overwhelming, or persistent, please seek help from a licensed therapist, doctor, or mental health professional. Asking for help is strength and it is not a weakness. You should not feel bad about it. So, let's first get into this. What are winter blues versus seasonal depression or seasonal affective disorder? Winter blues are usually milder and they come with the season, versus seasonal depression, it tends to last longer and it affects your daily functioning. So I feel like I had seasonal depression because it was on my back. And seasonal depression tends to make it harder to show up for work, parenting, any relationships, or yourself. Both are real and very valid experiences. Winter takes away sunlight, routines change, and we're also indoors more. And your body just feels that. Your mental feels that. It's not you being lazy, or I would say you do kind of feel unmotivated. But it's really just your environment shifting, and we have to learn to start shifting with that environment. We have to get on top of it, so much so that we know, okay, it's now November. The Our environment is about to start changing. It's about to start getting dark earlier. So I know I need to start changing up my routines. And that way you can kind of catch the winter blues before it gets too serious and too heavy for you. So, some signs that you may be experiencing winter blues or seasonal depression is feeling tired all the time, even after you've already been sleeping. Like after you've slept the normal amount of time you sleep and you're still tired. If you have low motivation, things you usually enjoy, they feel like chores, or you just don't want to do them anymore, or you just really can't find the motivation to get up and do them or to enjoy them. That is a sign of the winter blues. And also, if you want to isolate or stay in bed longer than usual, of course, we kind of get a little bit sluggish. I don't want to say sluggish. That sounds so negative, but we get a little bit more comfortable during the winter time. So you do want to stay in bed longer sometimes, and maybe just binge a show or two, or scroll or read a book because it's colder. But if you want to do that every single day, you're probably experiencing winter blues or seasonal depression. Um, some more signs are you have changes in your appetite, especially craving carbs or sugar, or you're feeling mentally foggy or emotionally numb. I can say I really felt emotionally numb about 2 winters ago when I was going through, and that was my first time ever experiencing any form of depression. I didn't know what was going on. I was just crying and really wanted to get whatever that feeling was, I wanted it to get off of me. So I really did hate that. I did not like that feeling at all. Also, feeling sad for no valid reason, no clear reason. You can't tell why you're feeling this way. If you have a loss of discipline with your routines that you've worked so hard to build and you know what they mean for you and your future, you probably are experiencing some winter blues. Or if you have increased self criticism or just thoughts of feeling hopeless, this was one of the worst ones, the hopeless thoughts. I hated it so bad. I didn't want to tell anyone. I didn't tell my family. I just didn't tell anyone. I was just Googling, why am I feeling like this? I was not feeling like, I didn't want to, you know, there was no reason to be here. I was feeling like, this isn't worth it. Why am I doing all this work? It's not worth it. It's pointless. I can't take it with me whenever, whatever happens. That's what I was feeling. And I'm just want to say I'm so thankful that I got up out of that. So if you're watching this and thinking, yeah, that's me, then you are not alone. And I want you to really know that you're not alone. There are a few ways you can cope without going too deep. Don't disappear on yourself. I can say that with everything in me because I really did disappear. I was fighting it. I didn't know what was going on. So you don't need to be productive, but you do need to stay connected to the outside world. And I would say this is the time to make sure you are getting outside when that sun is out. And you need to check in with at least one person consistently. It doesn't have to be the same person every day, but check in with someone consistently. You also can create a winter routine, not the one that you do during the summer because it's going to be colder and maybe you don't want to go out as early because it will be colder. But you could try doing later mornings, you could slower workouts, and you can do earlier wind downs because winter is not the season to really try to push. I know people, they push the agenda of, winter being your grind season, but it is the season to mellow out and kind of try to be consistent. And it's the season to support yourself through what you've already been establishing. Also, light is non negotiable. You need to open those blinds immediately. Immediately. And you need to go outside. Even if it's just for 10 minutes, please do that. Sit near windows when you're in the house. Your candles and lamps and warm lighting, they romanticize your space and it kind of gives you a feeling of the sunlight. You need to be moving your body more gentle. Your walks, stretching, you can try Pilates or yoga. I know people are tired of hearing this, but it honestly is a great exercise to incorporate during the winter time, especially if you're experiencing winter blues because it's kind of like you're meditating and you're getting in touch with yourself. So it's not, don't look at it as a form of punishment. Just look at it as you're trying to get your body on track with this new season and with this new schedule. And you just need everything to be circulating perfectly. Also, you need to watch what you consume mentally, especially during this winter season, because that doom scrolling is going to get you. Comparing yourself to others is going to get you. So you need to be mindful of that. So that you do not fall deep into the winter blues. Also, you need to look at more calming and more feminine and more grounding content. You can Winter is the time that you could be watching vlogs, but for motivation. Winter is also the time that you could be trying to learn a new hobby with yourself, with making yourself feel better. So you can be trying to learn to do quick weaves, or learning to do sew-ins, or learning to do acrylic nails, or start investing in some press-ons just to do your own thing. Change your own nails up. Start giving yourself pedicures and manicures. But definitely start to consume softer content during this season. And some things that you can do to prevent it from getting worse if you're already going through the winter blues is to just keep structure, even if it's a little bit. And you need to be showering daily. Yes, that shower does matter. I want you in that shower daily. Even if you want to take a bath, you can do a little spiritual bath with some salts and some florals, some flowers, some herbs. But definitely be hitting that bathtub shower daily. Get dressed, even if you're just at home. Don't let it slip by you. Have your outfits out exactly like you're gonna do when it's the summertime and you're amped up and pumped up and ready to get up and go to work. You need to be setting one daily non-negotiable. So that's either going to be walking, you're going to journal, you're going to pray, or you're going to stretch. You need to be setting one of them that is a non-negotiable. You have to do it every single day. Don't isolate yourself for days at a time, because this is one that will definitely put you far deeper into the winter blues than you want to be. And speak kindly to yourself during your low energy days, because those are the days that you're going to need it the most, and you don't need to glow every single day. Sometimes surviving is the glow up. What I did to overcome it from my personal experience is I stopped shaming myself for slowing down. I really did try to keep my same summer schedule where I was going hard, had a full schedule throughout the whole day. I really tried to keep that going in the wintertime, and that did not work for me at all. I just didn't want to stop and slow down. I didn't want to rearrange my routines, but I really had to. I also adjusted my expectations instead of quitting altogether, because I knew, okay, it's the winter time. I cannot get out what I'm going to get out in the summertime. I can't do 7 videos in a week. I can probably do two and, try to make some reels or something like that. But I can't do 7 and still keep my same energy and mood. I also leaned into routines that felt soft and not forced. Like I was saying, I didn't want to let go of my summer routine, but in the wintertime, that summer routine kind of feel like you forcing it, you pushing it. So that's why I had to adjust my expectations and just do what felt natural to me. When it's summertime, that summer routine does feel soft because it goes with the tide. But in the wintertime, you got to adjust. I prioritized light, movement, and rest. I had to prioritize that light. Not saying light movement versus heavy movement. I prioritized light, like sunlight. I had to get out and do that. Um, and I journaled through my emotions instead of suppressing them. That was a big one. That journaling really helped me. And I think that is when I really got into journaling, like got deep into journaling, and I saw the effects that it could do on my mental. That's when journaling really clicked for me, because I had been trying to journal a lot before that and really just couldn't get into it. And I also reminded myself that seasons change and so do feelings. I had to keep drilling that in my head, like this is just temporary, because I was just feeling good. I was just feeling bubbly. I don't know where this came from. And there was a book that I was reading about some little girls. I will keep that book. All the books that I donate and I don't want anymore, I will forever keep that book, because it is a reminder of what I was going through. I literally had to keep reading that book. I don't know why, it just felt home for me. It felt peaceful for me. So I had to learn that resting doesn't mean I'm failing. And adjusting my routines did not mean I was failing either. It really just meant I was preparing for what I was going through at the moment so that I could actually get through it. And if at any point you feel overwhelmed or stuck or just you don't feel safe, please reach out to a professional. You deserve the support that is out there for you, and you don't have to do this alone. This is just to help you if you feel like you're just, a little unmotivated. But if you feel like it's severe, please get some help. Don't do what I did. If you want to stay grounded, reflective, and intentional during seasons like this, I created a 30-day glow up journal planner to help you reconnect with yourself, set realistic goals, and stay emotionally aware, especially during your low seasons. If this video helped you feel seen, understood, or less alone, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe because this content really does help me be able to make more content. And this is a very sensitive topic to me because I remember going through this. Let me know in the comments if winter affects your mood or, and if it does, what helps you get through it. Because, like I said, up until like 2023, it never really affected my mood. But now I really can tell a difference. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the hormone change. I don't know. You know how sometimes you're a kid and you really don't have a care in the world. So nothing really worries you as much. But then when your adult stuff does worry you. Now, I can say I remember having that gloomy feeling some nights when I was a kid, but I didn't know what it was. I also remember my sister crying because she just didn't feel right, and that was that feeling. But this is Pretty Girl Rich Era, where we heal, level up, and become the best version of ourselves. See you in the next one.